Hello and welcome to this expert interview for my project. It is the importance of learning English in the communication career. For this interview, I have here Miss Pamela Caroyucra, who is a teacher at Smart Step. So we're going to talk some information about methods and about the importance, of course, of of the English language. Welcome, Miss Pamela. I want to start with the first question. That
Mhm.
is, what does English mean to you?
Hello, Salvador. Hello, everybody. Well, English for me, even though it sounds like a cliche, let's say, because many people say that, it's an opportunity. Because being able to speak English and to teach English as well has given me a lot of opportunities during my life, not throughout my life. Thanks to that, I have my current job. Actually, I'm not an English teacher that studied for that, right? I studied for to become a teacher of philosophy and psychology in La Normal, and I also studied business management in UTO, no, in the university. And while I was studying in my second career, I found this job, and English has given me the opportunity to realize that teaching is something that I like to do, that I can do well, and also has given me many opportunities during my working career. So I think it's a very good opportunity that continues giving me more opportunities still in the present.
Yes, I think the key word here is opportunity for enhance the importance of English. Well, you talk about what it means to you. So I think you talk about something about why it is important for you. So let me ask you why it is important to learn English, but for other people.
I think English can give you as it gives me, it can give other people confidence. When I say confidence, is that when they and I see that a lot especially in my work, when sometimes they cannot find a work in their career specifically. Let's say I have many colleagues that are engineers. They are from other careers, right? When they are trying to find other jobs, English, because they know English and they can prove that, they can work in an institute as I do. So it gives them the opportunity and the confidence to find a job wherever they want, not only in the institute but also in the schools. So it's like when and that's something that I saw in the pandemic, right? Many people were struggling to find a job, but when you have this ability to teach English, you have a lot of opportunities, not only in one place, you have in the university, in the schools, or maybe starting a work by yourself. So it gives you the confidence to know that with this knowledge, I can earn a living, let's say. And also gives you the confidence to apply to opportunities. Because if you want to apply for a scholarship, if you want to apply for a master's degree, one specific requirement that they tell you is you have to know English, at least an intermediate level. So when you're trying, you say, I can apply to that, right? And many of my students say this, I can apply to that now because I know English. So it gives you that confidence to search more opportunities that you can have thanks to the English.
Yes, yes, and I think the people who are studying yet English, let's say at Smart Step, they have now even they are a student, but they have now new opportunities and
Mhm.
they have like a resource for sometimes making money because we need money when we are
Mhm.
studying and yes this is about sometimes studying is about money but yes the English give us that opportunity. Okay, and well, talking about the importance of learning English inside the educational system, which for you, which is the best uh, language teaching method for universities? Because we see that usually in schools the the students are not learning too much, English, and I think teachers don't encourage them to learn, and that's why, and talking about my project, ask you that which is the best method for you to apply in a university.
Well, I wouldn't say that one method is going to work, right? I don't like to limit myself to only using one because we have to take into account the context, right? So in a university, we have to know that we are going to teach to 80 students, as far as I know, in the public university, especially 80, 50, or maybe 100 students in some cases. Maybe a little bit less in private universities, but the number is not low, right? So we have to teach to a good number of students. So I would say that it would be a mix between grammar translation, because sometimes when they see the similarities between English and Spanish, it helps them to understand that it's not so difficult, that we also use present perfect in Spanish. The only thing that is that they are not realizing that, right? They only use it, but they don't know that they are using it. And we have the same thing in English. So when they find that connection, they say, so it's not that difficult because I use kind of the same in Spanish. Of course, it's not going to be exactly the same. So we can use that approach, right? Use that method, grammar translation, as well as content based teaching. When I say content based teaching, is that okay, you're going to present them the information, the readings, the practices, but it has to be, and they have to know that I'm giving them something that they are going to use in their real lives. Because sometimes the students think, I have to study, and this is not going to be useful for me. I only want to pass this subject. That's what they think, right? But if we make them understand and we give them this kind of method, that we make them realize that you are going to use this, right? If you are ever going to be, yeah, let's say in your career in communication, let's say, you are going to, maybe you want to find an opportunity to study and a specialty abroad, they are going to require English. If you want to communicate with other people from other countries, right, other communicators from other places, maybe to do a meeting with them, you have to know English. So trying to find those type of texts, the kind of content that they are going to need, and they know that they are going to use it in the real life, then they are going to see, oh, this is useful. I need to learn this not only for my score, but also for my future career. And also mix into it with that maybe a little bit of other methods, right? Maybe the immersion, audio lingual method where they have to listen to a lot of things in English. But I would say it will be a mix of those two, and according to the characteristics of my students, I would include other ones, but it would be a mix of methods.
Okay, well, in our classes we talk about the methods, right? Uh, which would be the best for our students, and that's right. We have to get to know our students. That's the the main that's the first step. Yes, but we were talking about someday about the classes that the Smart Step offers to professors, and I would like to know something more about that. If you can explain us how does it work?
Oh, yes, we recently finished a course that was specifically directed to administrative personnel from UMS, right? The University, San Simon University in Cochabamba, and also directors there, and some professors, right, that they were included there. The main goal that they had is that they wanted to know English in a communicational way. They didn't want it to be so focused on grammar. They wanted to know specific conversations that they were going to use because they had meetings with British professors from other countries, so they need to communicate with them. So, well, at the beginning, to set the basis, we did some grammar, right, to make them understand a little bit. And when we achieved a good grammar content that they already knew the basis, then we started with communicational classes based on their needs, right? I taught them, let's say, for example, in a meeting, how you're going to introduce yourself, then how you're going to present a project, how you're going to work with your colleagues in a project, how to share ideas. So it is a little bit more difficult because sometimes they don't know some grammar that is included in some conversations, but they learn, right? With communicational practices that we make them do, they learn and they are really eager to learn because they know that they need that. So in that specific case, they wanted specifically communicational skills. They wanted to gain that. So our focus was that method. The method was communicational skills, right? Communicative language teaching approach.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Pamela.